So let me take this opportunity to invite St. Mary's College Kisubi to come and make their presentation, showcase their innovations. As they come, it's important to note that St. Mary's College Kisubi emerged the best in the central region. The competitions were held at SEDAT, and they have a very interesting innovation which is really coming up to solve a very big problem in our society, especially in the education sector. St. Mary's, you are most welcome.
This is forward, this is backward. So you show it to each of the group that comes. So the presentation will be there, and the timer. The timing will be reversed. Okay.
In case I don't use this, and the person will control it.
Okay. They're going to control the other side. They're going to control the other side.
Creativity is the thinking up of new things. Innovation is the doing of new things. By Theodore Levitt, a Harvard professor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the August House, good morning to you all. Today, St. Mary's College Kisubi is going to present to you a project titled School Eye, and the innovators are Master Egero Brighton, who is standing right beside me, Master Sonko Julian Paul, who is controlling the presentation, and then I myself speaking to you is Mutumba Nicholas Kadu. This project is going to solve numerous amount of problems, and I'll try to list them down. The first one is going to be inadequate monitoring of the syllabus, whereby in this country, there is the Ministry of Education does not know what exactly a student, let me say in Lira, is studying at this moment in a class. All they have is a designed curriculum by NCDC to be covered in a specified period of time. The second problem is the dropout rates, whereby students who show great academic potential drop out due to lack of finances to fund their education. The third is low integrity of the syllabus, whereby the goals which were initially to be met by the syllabus are not really brought out very well. This is due to the fact that schools rush to teach through concepts, whereby they cover the concepts very early in order to leave time for the examinations at the end of the education cycle for a given level of education. And this leaves the students to cram information rather than understanding it, and thus integrity of the syllabus is not met. The fourth is curriculum imbalance, whereby schools across the country are not on the same level, yet they are teaching the same year and the same content. The solution to this project is, the solution to these problems is our project, an interface that is customized to the Ministry of Education and Sports to monitor the syllabus coverage on a national scale. The objectives of this project are, number one, to convey the education requirement in each subject area at each level. Number two, equal access to quality education for all citizens across the country. The benefits or outcomes of implementing this project are: the syllabus will be well tracked, hence the ministry shall be having supervisory rights across the curriculum taught to its students in the country. The second is scholarships shall be availed to the best performing students. This will be well understood during the demonstration, whereby the ministry on a termly basis will be issuing out an API, an aptitude test, which is extrapolated by our API here, in order to validate the integrity of the data that is entered by the schools. Therefore, the students who perform well on these tests shall be awarded scholarships. The other is poor teaching cases will be easily identified and shall be resolved. The fourth one is the curriculum will be well streamlined on a national level, and all students shall be learning at the same level, since the ministry can be able to view what is needed. I'll invite my colleague, Master Gary Brighton, to take you through how the project looks like.
Thank you very much, Master Mutumba. Good afternoon to all of you. Right here we have got the dashboard for the school, and those are the cards that are representing the different subjects that one can be able to update. We decided to use minimal data because of problems of collecting data from everywhere. So moving on to the next slide. Right here we have got an input form where the school is able to click on which topics they have completed and submit the form. So graphically, this is what we represent. We have got pie charts showing different sections, first sections in particular, 0 to 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 75, and 75 to 100, represented by the different colors. You will be able to see how those graphs change dynamically once we enter data. Then this is how the test page looks like. Those are sample questions where a student is able to enter, answer the questions, and then enter their name, submit, and results are brought back. We shall be able to see all of that in the demo. Now, this is the scholarships page. This is how it looks like, where students who have met a pass mark, which we set up to be 60, are able to be displayed here, and the interested sponsors are also able to be displayed, so the student can be able to easily access available sponsors. So when it comes to the ministry's dashboard, we have got data that is in terms of tables and graphs, and this is an example where we have got a table that is representing average coverage per every school. We are seeing Chambogo College School, we are seeing Modern High School, Mary Hill, Ontare, and all the rest. We are seeing math average coverage, physics average coverage, chemistry, and overall coverage. Moving on. Let me request Master Mutumba to come back and complete this.
The challenges that will be faced shall this project be implemented are slow machines, unavailability of information in case the schools refuse to comply with the ministry's directive, slow internet, and power outages. However, we have future prospects for this project, and these are not limited to extrapolation of test results to predict UNEB results, issuance of students' transcripts which use QR codes, usage of students' data in government agencies such as UNEB and NERA in order to tackle the tedious registration carried out by some of the organizations. We have creating a big scholarship search service in Uganda whereby students who need sponsorship can be able to get it easily. We intend to expand it to the primary level so that all levels under the ministry supervision are covered. And due to the demand of the new curriculum, we intend to inculcate in project planners to track the club activities as well as goals that are needed by the new curriculum. We intend to also use the offline templates to cater for regions that do not have internet. I will kindly request my colleague again to take you through the demonstration.
All right here we have got a demonstration, and this is the login page. We are logging in as Gayaza High School. So once we submit, we are taken to the dashboard, and in this case, Gayaza High School has got a little bit of coverage for math and chemistry, so we are going to be updating physics. So the different sections, as you can see, that is how it is looking. When you come here down, when we look at subjects, physics is not showing anything. That is probably because they have not touched anything under physics. So let us update and we see what happens. This is the input. We input data, as you can see. We have clicked on the various topics and subtopics that have been covered. This was better for accuracy. Previously, we just had ranges. So once we input, everything is updated in the database, as you can see. So when you come back home, you're able to see the graphs. That is the physics graph. Previously, all the colors were at an angle of 95. However, we are seeing that the green has overpowered all the others, and the goal is that the green should be able to cover the whole pie chart. Then when we come here, we see that the physics has risen, and that is how it is being displayed on the school's page. So let us log in as the ministry, and we see what the ministry is actually able to see. So right here, we have got the ministry, we have got the available schools that are being displayed here. We have got the statistics table, and that is showing the different schools, as I told you previously. and their coverages, and even countrywide average for every subject down there. So when it comes to these graphs, these are graphs showing coverage per region. That's the first, the Eastern, Western, Central, Northern, and then we have got the different schools at the different levels that I informed you of previously. Then mathematics, we're able to show you that different schools are still at the different levels for every single subject. So we had input Gayaza High School, and we want to see what exactly happens when the ministry is viewing the data for Gayaza High School. So we are going to be looking for Gayaza High School. And just like that, what Gayaza High School was able to see is exactly what the ministry is able to see, and they are able to come up to conclusions of how the school is faring as far as coverage. So we added functionality where we're able to filter schools as per performance. That is that slider that you see there. We are going to filter out schools as per a given, as per their performance. So we keep on increasing the average coverage, and according to this, it shows that King's College Budo has the greatest coverage. So let us look at what is happening. Now we are seeing that most of the graphs are next to green, and this should be the goal of every single school towards the end of the term. Their graphs should be next to green. However, I want to show you a school for a particular subject which has covered to totally 100%, and I think that was Nabisonsa. So the physics graph, as you can see it right there, it is fully green, and that should be the goal at the end of every single term. Everything should be green like that. That is showcasing an average coverage between 75 to 100. So we are going to log in back as the school, and we show you what happens for the tests page and the scholarships page. Then we shall be done with this. Right here we are taken to the test page, and these are the sample tests. You can try them out, I dare you. Once you scroll down, you click and then you answer the questions. So once you scroll down, you input your name. Your name will be tied to your school. These are the different fields. First name, we have got the given name. We have got the student ID number for the school, the combinations, they are doing their date of birth, and we can always submit the form once we are done. Moving on forward, once you've submitted, you're able to see the students whose results are back, who have shot above that average of 65. So in this case, we are having Esther Mukuye, who has met a percentage of 71%, and these are the available sponsors for them. So with that, that is exactly how our application will be working to improve syllabus coverage across the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, St. Mary's Kisubi ICT Club. Yeah, remain around for questions from judges. We have a short time, maybe two. If there are questions from judges, one or two, then we can also have maybe one question from the audience.
Okay, thank you so much. I have one simple question. I liked the demo, and it's capturing a lot of data, but my question is on the quality. How sure are you that the data that these teachers are putting in is actually qualitative? They are doing the work, because it might be coming towards the end of the term, I just punch in numbers, and how will you know that it is quality data? I think that's the only thing I need to know from you guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, as you think of that, yeah, mine is only on the dropout rates. Yeah, I know you guys presented something really good, but I'm curious, how is this also solving the dropout rates? I need to just know from you. Thank you. Okay, sure, proceed.
All right, let me answer the questions. The first one is quality of data. Now, when the schools input in the data, at the end of every term, at the beginning of the next term, the ministry will subject them to a test, an aptitude test. Now, this aptitude test won't be marked like the usual exam, whereby if a student scores like 8 ticks out of the 10 numbers, they get 8 out of 10. No, these questions test the level of understanding of the student. And each objective that is given, or each multi-choice answer that is given, has a certain goal that it's going to target. So therefore, if a student answers, there is data that will be extrapolated to the ministry, and they will be able to know that this teacher actually did not teach well the students, because the students will fail if they actually haven't learned that topic. Or they will answer in a way that shows that the teaching was very poor, such that it can be reflected very well to the ministry. Then for the solving the dropout rates, when the student sits for the test, their data is collected at the end of it all. And when it's collected, there is no way a school will be able to return back the same students. So also the students who really want to get a scholarship in an easier format can sit down and do the test. And if they perform really well, they can be awarded a scholarship by the ministry, as interested sponsors will be taking up, will be seeing their scores, and will be expressing interest in case they want to fund the student.
Okay, so you're basically selling the ministry that data to show them a performance of various students who can be sponsored later?
Yes.
Okay, is it anywhere on the platform, or it's something you look forward to putting out clearly?
It's there on the platform.
Okay, so I didn't see anywhere to do with the generating a report that you can pass on. Is it anywhere?
It was there, but I went through it very fast because of time limits. However,
okay.
I showed you that particular page where different students were being displayed. So once you hover over it, it shows displays, potential sponsors.
Okay, yeah. Sure, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. I think we can allow one question from the audience. And let me give this opportunity to, yes, go ahead. The microphone is far from you. So you respond quickly. You know your time there, 1 minute. Yes.
Thank you very much. You talked about the offline mode where you'll be able to, for areas where, which are in remote areas, areas where we do not have internet coverage. You talked about collecting that data using the offline mode. How, I wanted you to elaborate more on how you would be able to collect that data and make sure that it's also uploaded to the system and the Ministry of Education can access it.
For the offline templates, I'll give an example like the way the Uganda National Examinations Board does it. Not all schools are in the same area. Not all schools are in areas where there is reach of internet, but all registration is carried out offline. So UNEP gives out a template where the schools fill in that data, and then they go to a school whereby, or an area that there is internet, and they forward that data very well. That's how it would be working in that context.
All right, let's give Mark a mighty hand clap for that wonderful presentation. Okay, I think you can take your seats.